The question of the day, to pay or not to pay influencers. Bonjour, hello everyone. I'm Nata, host of the Nata PR School podcast. You're a successful entrepreneur or marketing manager and you're about to launch a new product or service, or you've been selling your goods for quite some time, but you want to learn how to increase your visibility, get known, and reach more clients? At Nata PR, we deal with real clients every day and we'll teach you simple, fun, and honest PR solutions. You'll learn easy steps to combine PR to social media right now. Keep listening and let's get started. Bonjour, hello, and welcome to episode 215 of the Nata PR School podcast. Welcome, my PR friends. To pay or not to pay influencers? What should we do and what do we do at Nata PR? So welcome, my friend, to this episode where we ask this very sensitive question. As you probably know, in the world of social media, working with influencers is really, it's growing every single day, especially according to some recent studies. I don't know if you're like me and you pay attention to those studies, you look for them, where one of them actually that I spoke earlier in the previous episode, we know today that 70% of Gen Z, yes, Generation Z, the famous Gen Z, they're ready to buy. 70% say yes, they will buy something if it's presented by an influencer. So here we are. But when it comes to paying influencers, opinions differ and vary. On one side, some believe it is essential to compensate them, to pay them for their creative work and their targeted audience. On the other, our clients sometimes believe that free products or offering them visibility on their, the client platforms should be enough for the influencer. So I propose to break down these two views and share with you, my friends, what we do at the Nata PR agency during those campaigns. How do we create those campaigns of influence and what are we doing right now for our clients and what works, right? So what is the best option for a brand? Pay or not pay influencers? Let's discover it together. Well, sometimes it's a happy mix of both types of collaboration. We do that a lot for many of our clients, paid and organic. So for those who haven't heard this organic word or have heard it and don't know what it means, organic means not to pay. Free, not free, but not paid. A mention that's not paid, an article that's been written on you, a mention, an interview, and you didn't have to pay for it. This is organic, paid or organic. For some clients, it is wise to choose influencers with a very engaged community and develop what we call a paid collaboration with them. Because these influencers have a fan base that, represents or this fan base is a real potential for our client. This allows a brand to make specific requests. So if they decide to pay someone, there's a lot of video nowadays. So you can imagine that if you ask an influencer to create a video mentioning your brand, specific key messages, presenting products, if it's you ask them to create this video, those reels, they call them reels on Instagram and on TikTok, there are videos as well. So the brand must pay them, of course, especially if they want, this specific content, specific reel, they want to use it on their own Instagram account, or they ask for a video that they want to put on their website. So, of course, this makes complete sense to pay the influencers in these cases, right? So these influencers sometimes become even great ambassadors for the brand, almost the face of the brand sometimes. We see it at the agency with some of our clients and influencer campaign that we have created. So on the other hand, we also work with many influencers with very, very tiny, small communities. The famous nano influencers. Most of the time, they have less than 5,000 or less than 10,000 fans. I would say 5,000. Sometimes they have just a few hundred fans. They're at the beginning, maybe, of their account. They just created it, but they create beautiful content. We love to identify those nano. We send them products to try, hoping that they will talk about them to their followers. Sometimes, if they have 5,000-6,000 followers, sometimes they have a small database but very engaged. That's very interesting to identify these small nano influencers. So many of these, when we send them products, what they do is they do unboxing. So they're going to show what they've received to their fans, and we hope also they're going to try the products and tell their fans what they think, especially if they love them. We love when they do that, right? And sometimes, it's a discovery, so they love when they do that. And it allows us too, when we do that, to find some new amazing content creators. So those sometimes nano influencers, they create beautiful content, and it gives us the occasion to see what they do and identify them. What we do by sending them product, depending on the brand you represent, if you're sending them like beautiful, there are beauty brands that everybody love and that they want to receive the products. So it's worth it to do some organic. So send products in hoping they will talk about it, because of course they want to receive it for free, if you see what I mean. So it's exactly like we give them an occasion, an opportunity to create content they can then share as they wish, because we don't pay them, so they can say whatever they want. So paying an influencer is of course entirely legitimate. Some of them spend hours. Some of them work really hard. If you see some videos and some editings, I'm always amazed sometimes, especially on YouTube. Some of them are just like amazing. So especially, it's legitimate to pay them if one of our clients, a brand, wants to access the community of that influencer, because they have spent sometimes years to build having all those fans follow them, entertain them, create specific content for their fans. So this has a very high value, of course. So when you want to showcase your product, as with many of our clients in the food and beauty industries, many influencers they want to receive your products. They're eager to test it, eat it, share it with their family. So sometimes don't start by paying right away influencers. If you can see if your product is very attractive, you can go far by sometimes sending them products to those specific who will be talking about you. And it's kind of an exchange between the brands and influencers who receive products without any specific request or expectation. In this case, there's no payment. The payment is the product. It's an exchange. So to pay or not to pay influencers? Well, as you can imagine, the answer is yes and no, depending on your needs and influencer requests. Some influencers are very, very famous. If you feel, you have a very strong feeling that this influencer is going to be very powerful for you and generate sales, then it's another game, right? You might have to pay sometimes a lot of money. But allow me to add this, though, because depending on your product type, influence is not the new holy grail. It's not the only solution, no. And public relations can really offer you other avenues to complement or, do something besides or instead of an influencer campaigns, how to capture attention and make you and your products known to a wide audience. So feel free to reach out to me. I'd love to hear you, and I will tell you what I'm thinking for free. Call me, just send me an email. I had a very good conversation with a very interesting potential client not so long ago. So nata@natapr.com. I answer all my emails, and I'll be happy to talk to you. And check out our links below. So if you haven't bought our 1995 PR 101 program, do it now. It's there. Click on the link below. And make sure to be on our list to receive all our newsletter information, free content. And of course, we have programs that are highly performant too. So hopefully you've enjoyed this episode, to pay or not to pay influencers. And more than anything, I hope you'll be joining me next week. And leave us a comment, a positive one below. Thank you. Hey, you want to learn more about how to implement PR strategies? Head on to natapr.com and get on our list. You will also receive the Nata PR model on how to create a successful PR campaign. If you want to become a client, just send us an email to nata@natapr.com. Talk to you next week. À la semaine prochaine.